Paying rent versus paying a mortgage payment is going to be different. Normally, a mortgage payment is going to be more expensive than what you're paying for rent. And this extra money that you're going to spend for your mortgage, I want you to think of it as a forced savings account. What do I mean by that? Well, when I was 21, I purchased my first home, and I bought a home. My payment was $1,150 per month. Now, before this, I wasn't actually spending anything for rent because I was living with my parents. So I went from paying $0 to $1,150 per month. Now, if I was to go rent a place, I could have went and rented a place for $700, $500, $600, $700. And in fact, I told my parents moving out, I was like, Mom, I'm going to go rent a place, moving out of my parents' house. And she said, no, Pete, you need to go buy a house instead. Well, so I ended up buying a house. Well, my income at the time was only $2,500 per month. So my mortgage payment was actually about 43% of my monthly income. And what this was like a forced savings account, because I could have went and rented for $500, $600, but instead I had an $1,100 payment, and it was a forced savings account. Now, it was hard for me in the beginning, and it was a scary purchase, but over time, my income increased over time. And see them on a mortgage, my mortgage payment actually dropped over time too, because interest rates came down. See, when you pay rent, every single year, that rent payment is going to continue to go up every single year. Your landlord's not going to call you and say, hey, congratulations, your rent this new year is going to be dropping. I'm lowering the rent payment for you. No, that doesn't happen on rent. Now, on a mortgage, it does, because interest rates come down. You can refinance. So I actually refinanced my house, and I lowered that mortgage payment from $1,150 down to $900, and my income was increasing each year as well. So that mortgage payment got easier and easier and easier. One thing you want to make sure, though, when you're looking at the mortgage payment, is you want to make sure the payment has your taxes, insurance, and mortgage insurance in that payment. You see, if you go to Zillow.com or Realtor.com, it's not going to have all of these in your payment. And so I had a customer come to me just a couple weeks ago, and they wanted to buy a house for about $300,000. And they were expecting the mortgage payment, first-time home buyers, buying 100%, no down payment. They can definitely do that. It's possible, and we actually help them. But they were expecting their mortgage payment to be about $1,600 per month. Well, that's because they went to Zillow or Realtor.com and they saw a payment for that $300,000 home. What Zillow or Realtor.com or these other mortgage calculators do not tell you is that the payment does not include taxes, insurance, and also mortgage insurance. So you want to make sure that the payment does include the principal and interest, property taxes, mortgage insurance, and homeowners insurance. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a calculator link that you can go to calculate a mortgage payment for each property. You can also reach out to me, send me a text. I'll help you show you exactly what payments look like for any property that you're wanting to go purchase. Now, let's say you're paying $1,400 for rent and you want to buy a home for $300,000. What does that look like? Well, a $300,000 home right now, that payment is about $2,300 per month. That $2,300 per month versus $1,400, it's about $700 per month difference, $700-800. Now, remember, I said that rent payment is going to continue to go up every single year, whereas your mortgage payment, number one, your income more than likely will continue to increase. And number two, this mortgage payment has the opportunity or the ability to come down, because interest rates do go up and they come down, and we can refinance and lower that payment as rates come down. So what does this look like over a 5-year period if you were to buy for $300,000? Well, if you didn't buy and you just rented, you would spend $92,000 for that apartment that was $1,400 that first year. You see, rent goes up every single year as well. Now, if you purchase for $300,000, you would spend about $142,000 versus $92,000. So that is a significant amount more. It's about $50,000 more that you would spend over that 5-year period. Now, remember, think of this as a forced savings account. It's a forced savings account that's forcing you to put this extra money into your home, and you're going to gain some equity. So out of the $142,000, you will have paid down your principal by $19,000, almost $20,000. And so instead of throwing away $92,000, you actually only threw away $122,000 because you actually paid down your mortgage. This is your forced savings account right here. Now, that home that you bought for $300,000, This is based on a 4% appreciation per year, only a 4% appreciation per year. This home in 5 years will be worth $365,000 in 5 years. That's based on a 4% appreciation. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but I have other videos that I encourage you to watch in this training on why I believe real estate is still going very strong. In fact, this year, homes have already appreciated in our area close to 4% this year, and we're actually only in October of 2023. And so homes continue to appreciate. And in 5 years, this home would be worth $365,000. Now, the loan balance in 5 years is only going to be $274,000 some change. And so in just a short 5-year period, you'd have about $90,000 in total equity. This is the difference between renting and buying. And like I was saying in the beginning with my story, is think of this as a forced savings account. Like I was saying in the beginning with my story, is if I didn't spend the extra $1,000 a month and I just went and spent $600 for rent, I would have went and bought a brand new car. I would have spent that extra money on just other things that was not going to help my financial future. So this is the difference between renting and buying.